Welcome to PAX. Please take your seats and silence all cell phones. Our program begins now.
Hello and welcome to a walk down Animal Crossing Lane. Hello. Welcome to the panel. My name is Alex Culafi, here to walk you through 18 years of what might be the best Nintendo franchise.
Wait a minute. Hold down then.
I am joined by Neal, Ronaghan, reviews editor and owner of NintendoWorldReport.com.
Hi everybody, and hi Twitch, out there on the internet.
And we're also joined by site director of Nintendo World Report, John Rairdin.
Hello.
So today's panel will be a walk down Animal Crossing Lane through yours truly, starting from the original game on N64 through the ones on 3DS, Wii U, and mobile, general love fest for the series, and then of course, fun, very unnecessary speculation about the Switch game coming out later this year.
Totally accurate speculation.
Of course.
Absolutely confirmed.
Inevitably
Take
there
it to
will
the
be a
bank.
delay,
Yeah.
probably, right now it's technically this year, but who knows? Who knows?
You have to believe, Neal.
I'm just being the
Keep the faith.
over here.
Now, just to feel the energy of this room a little bit, who here likes Animal Crossing? All right. Who here loves Animal Crossing? We're among friends today. First things first, when did you first get into Animal Crossing? And Neal, I will start with you.
I actually remember, and you can look up on our YouTube channel, Nintendo World Report TV, to find a video from, I think it's E3 2001 when they first introduced Animal Crossing to North America, because it came out on N64 first, which we'll get to. But I remember seeing early footage of that where it was just this weird, bizarre social simulation game where you're like a person going to this town with animals. So then I kind of knew that I had to get it when it came out on GameCube. And then it was even better because I could get all these old NES games and play them on my GameCube as well. So I played a bunch there, and that was kind of the start of it for me. The other game that kind of gripped me was Animal Crossing New Leaf, which coming out on 3DS was perfect because of everything with Street Pass and Online that was in that game.
Yeah.
And John, what about you?
I think the first time I played it would have been, back in the old days, you used to go to places and rent things, which is a very foreign concept now. But I rented Animal Crossing from Mr. Movies and played it, and then I'd rent it again and again and again and again, and eventually I got it for a birthday. It was also how my older sister got into video games, which was unfortunate because until then I had just kind of unrestricted access to the GameCube, and then I didn't. So it was great to have my sister like video games. Not so great to have her take over the GameCube every day when she got home from school. But I digress.
Very good. I got into Animal Crossing. You guys remember G4, like the old video game channel? It was either Cheat or X-Play. One of those games was showing off the original Animal Crossing game when I was in 6th grade. And it was like, oh, so you live in this world with animals and you just live a life, and that's all you do, and it's a good life when you're just living it. And then I got the player's choice version of the original Animal Crossing, put it in my GameCube, and have never looked back since.
I did like someone from Nintendo Report who was here yesterday but wasn't here today. Patrick Barnett was telling me a story last night about how when he was younger, he got the GameCube Animal Crossing. He has a brother and mom and dad, and that his dad never really played video games as much, but his dad every Saturday night would just fish all night in Animal Crossing, and because he couldn't sell them when it was nighttime, so he'd just have rooms in his house were just filled with fish to later sell when he could get on during the day.
Did you ever see that thing with New Leaf about the grandma who played 4,000 hours of it?
It's crazy.
And you worked out the math and it's 4 hours a day since launch day. Yeah. So moving on a little bit, what makes an Animal Crossing game? Now, everyone here, or at least most of the people here, know what Animal Crossing is, but just to set that baseline a little bit.
Is there anyone here who has no idea what Animal Crossing is and just showed up? Hey, all right, welcome. Thank you for showing up.
Like, I like animals. I like crossings. This sounds like a
Might
good
as well
thing.
give it a shot. All right, let's.
We will do
see
our
how it
best to
goes.
indoctrinate you. So Animal Crossing is an open social simulation that runs on a real-time clock. Very few mandatory goals outside of the tutorial. You start out as a new villager in the town with a town full of animals. You're the only human. You're given a new house by Tom Nook, asked to pay it off over time, but you can take as much, but doing so can take as much or as little time as you want. And in this millennial world of ours, I read this thing about Tom Nook where it's like, everyone hates Tom Nook because he's charging you thousands of bells, but he's giving you a no-interest loan that you can pay off whenever you want.
Although, do we really know for sure that it's a no-interest loan? Like, he just gives you, like, this is how much it costs. We don't have any, we can't shop it around. Like, there's only one place to go for this mortgage.
Listen, what we're saying is that Tom Nook did nothing wrong.
Tom Nook for Smash. Your true goal is to enjoy spending time in your town, making it into the town you want it to be, having social interactions with the other villagers, both real and NPC, and decorating your home. You can fish, collect bugs, run errands for other villagers, donate to the museum, participate in the stock market, interact with special visitors in the town, and more. And it's played on a real-time clock, observing days, weeks, months, and years. In this time, there are regular events like fishing tournaments, holidays like Christmas and Halloween, and stores that refresh their stock on a daily basis. You can fill your house with furniture received as a gift, purchased from local stores, clothing, fish, bugs, and more. Villagers move in and out of town depending on whether there's space for them to move in or if you've neglected ones that moved in and they'll move out. And then you can add new landmarks to your town by raising enough money to do so and customize the town even further. All right. Here is what makes Animal Crossing for me is the cast of characters. You got Tom Nook, whose role has evolved over games from being just the store manager to now being like a realtor. Well, he was always a realtor, but he was a
Well, it's because he made all that money off of the interest that you paid.
Question. How did he get all those houses when his store was just like a shack?
Because he's a mob boss.
Is his store just like a front for something
Probably.
else?
What is
just
Tom
money
Nook actually
laundering through
selling,
Nook's
John?
cranny?
What is Tom Nook actually selling?
Raccoon Mafia.
Raccoon Mafia.
Tanuki Mafia, I think, technically.
Well, it's a raccoon in the localized version, and it's a tanuki in the Japanese version. I read Wikipedia, I know. And my favorite, of course, is your boy KK Slider.
Did you guys ever reset the clock on those nights where you missed KK? Because in the first game, he would only show up like one night of the week, and so you'd have to look forward to that like all week, and then you'd have to like go. It's like I missed it, and you have to go back and reset the clock. And is that cheating, or is that just playing the game the right way?
I mean, and I love because like he's just like the personification of the composer for the series, Totaka.
Yeah.
And like that's just it's kind
They
of
just
like
put him in the
this
game.
Is apparently what he's like. He's a dog. He's got glasses on. He DJs.
He's a great DJ,
yeah. Look for Totaka's song in a lot of Nintendo games.
including Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
So we were talking about resetting the clock. How many people in here time travel unapologetically? We are among friends.
That's actually like, there's way more people in here who time travel than just the people that raised their hands. That was not nearly enough hands. So many of you were lying.
For those out of the loop, that means that you mess with the game's clock in order to start a new day, make it nighttime, make it a holiday. And what happens with me is every time I start a new Animal Crossing game, I have very good intentions to play it every night, once, a little bit every single day, and then about a week in, I just need a bigger fix. And I need to get in more Tom Nook items.
That's the gateway Animal Crossing. And they give you that for free, and then you got to go back and get more.
No, that's the gateway is apparently Pocket Camp on mobile.
Oh, yeah. It's free to play, kids.
And we're going to go through a few of the important names in the Animal Crossing series. Number one is Katsuya Iguchi, who is credited as the father of Animal Crossing. The three themes of Animal Crossing, he said, are family, friendship, and community. And I have a quote here. Animal Crossing features three themes: family, friendship, and community. But the reason I wanted to investigate them was a result of being so lonely when I arrived in Kyoto. Chiba is east of Tokyo and quite a distance from Kyoto. And when I moved there, I left my family and friends behind. In doing so, I realized that being close to them, being able to spend time with them, talk to them, play with them was such a great, important thing. I wondered for a long time whether there would be a way to recreate that feeling, and that was the impetus behind the original Animal Crossing. So it was sort of him recreating the feeling of being alone in a new town away from friends and family.
That's the saddest origin story for a really happy game you could possibly have.
Yeah, because Iguchi, I think it's late 80s, early 90s is when he started. I guess late 80s, because I think his first credit is Super Mario Bros. 3, as you have noted there. I think he was just like a level designer.
Obscure niche title.
And then to John's happiness, Iguchi also worked with like Dylan Cuthbert and the people at Argonaut Software and Star Fox 2. And he had ties with that, and then started going down the Animal Crossing path. I think he was involved with the Wii games, like Wii Sports, Wii Music. He was a part of that 2008 E3 presentation with Animal Crossing, City Folk, and Wii Music. And then, as Alex has noted on the slide, he was the unfortunate dude who showed off Nintendo Land to everybody for the Wii U, which I love Nintendo.
2012?
Yeah, that was E3 2012.
Remember watching Luigi, like the Luigi's Mansion minigame for roughly 12 hours during the E3 presentation?
And then since then, they've hidden him from the public eye.
Yeah.
But he's in like senior producer land at Nintendo right now. He's done a lot for the company over the years, and he's still there. But I just think it's more like how Shigeru Miyamoto is kind of in more of an advisory role than a hands-on, like working on individual games all the time role.
Right. And I have one more quote from Mr. Gucci. Another thing is that I'd always get home really late, and my family plays games and would sometimes be playing when I got home. And I thought to myself, they're playing games and I'm playing games, but we're not really doing it together. It'd be nice to have a play experience where even though we're not playing at the same time, we're sharing things together, hence the local multiplayer aspect of Animal Crossing.
Which is something that I really hope comes out in the Switch version.
Yeah.
Like, because I feel like I haven't gotten that as much. Like, City Folk didn't grab me as much, and I haven't had that feeling of community with the game as greatly as I did in the GameCube version.
Next up is Hisashi Nogami, director credit on Animal Crossing Wild World and City Folk. He is also the face of the Splatoon series, and he directed Me Channel and Wara Wara Plaza, which is the Wii U home screen.
Got any really hardcore Wara Wara Plaza fans in the house?
I mean, like, one of the better parts of the Wii U, probably, like that and Miiverse were really neat.
Who here knew that the Wii menu, or the Wii U menu, was called the Wara Wara Plaza? Cool, 2 of you.
All right, that's going to be a question in next year's Who Wants to Be a Nintendo Where?
Yeah.
Everybody saw that last night.
All right, and next name to know, Isao Moro, co-directed New Leaf and City Folk and directed Happy Home Designer. He was also assistant director on The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, and he left Nintendo last year.
Aww.
Yeah, and no one knows why. Like, he hasn't showed up yet. Like, maybe he'll like show up working on a new game someday.
There will be some sort of spiritual Animal Crossing sequel show up on Kickstarter
It'll be
in
like
2 years.
Dinosaur Railroad or something. I don't know.
I'd buy that. I'll back that.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, there is no explanation for why he left, so we can all just wonder what happened. Maybe he moved to a new town and got off the train and wound up among animal friends.
Why'd you have to make it sad?
Yeah, maybe he time traveled too much, and they're like, "You have to leave, sir."
He just disappeared.
And then the last one we have is Aya Kyogoku.
I think that's close enough.
It's close enough. Director of Animal Crossing New Leaf and Plaza, which is that Wara Wara Plaza type app that came out on the Wii U in like 2011, No, it would have been 2012,
2013, I think that's when that came out. And when they were like, we're doing all these Animal Crossing graphics in HD. Maybe there will be a new Animal Crossing on Wii U. And there was, but it wasn't what we wanted.
And it had nothing to do with that plaza. That plaza never did anything. They just put it there for funsies.
She also produced Happy Home Designer, Amiibo Festival, and Welcome Amiibo, which is the update to Animal Crossing New Leaf, and she's previously credited as a scriptwriter for Twilight Princess and Four Swords Adventures.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting that she came from a background I mean, well, she started her career at Atlas, actually, in like, I think 2000, and then came on to help with at Nintendo on the script for Twilight Princess. But it just seeing that, like, crafting stories for Zelda worlds and then going on to work on Animal Crossing is kind of an interesting trajectory.
And now moving on to the first game, Debutso no Mori on N64, released on April 14th, 2001, which means in 14 days, Animal Crossing will be able to both vote and buy cigarettes.
I actually think the cigarette law might be variable. Like, I think it's 19 now.
Or Massachusetts, maybe it's different.
Yeah. Okay, it's apparently 21 now?
You know what? It's a joke, and we don't need to analyze it too deeply. Let's just roll with it.
So the development for Animal Crossing was originally started on 64DD, but was moved to N64 after the 64DD was delayed. It came with built-in clock functionality in the actual cartridge itself because the N64 didn't have the capacity to do the built-in clock, and it's the original version of the game we know and love on GameCube, so there'll be more on that in a minute. But yeah, that's where Animal Crossing began. So the GameCube game was released on December 14th, 2001 in Japan and September 15th, 2002 in North America. It sold 2.32 million, and the GameCube version had e-reader support, worked using the GameCube's built-in clock. The localized version of the game added new holidays and items like Independence Day for the US. And Nintendo was so impressed with NOA's localization work that the USA content was brought back into the Japanese game as Animal Crossing E+ with even more new content. And just if I can get a show of hands, whose favorite Animal Crossing is the one on GameCube?
Ooh, that's not... I mean, it could be more. I was expecting more. All right. They're all holding out for Amiibo Festival.
But Animal Crossing is where I've got that itch at first, with the NES games, and then just that feeling of community, and the monthly raffles, and all the holidays, and the summer camps, and all that stuff.
We should talk about those NES games for a second, because, I mean, this was GameCube. It was before there was any sort of, like, virtual console.
I mean, it was kind of the impetus for why Virtual Console happened. It was that, and then also the Game Boy Advance had, like, the $20, like, it's The Legend of Zelda on a cartridge for Game Boy Advance.
Well, and for, like, the two of you over there who haven't played Animal Crossing before, every Christmas, or what was it called in the game? It wasn't called Christmas.
The Light Festival?
Light Festival. That's Star Wars Holiday Special, isn't it?
Festival of Lights, maybe? Or like it's something with...
There's a reindeer. It's a winter holiday solstice type event.
Is it pagan?
What'd you say?
Toy Day, all right. And you would get an NES that had a game, and it was the full game, and you could play it on your GameCube, which in 2001 was like amazing.
Couldn't you also like connect your Game Boy Advance and play the NES game there too, or was that just going to the island?
I think you could yeah, you could play them on your NES. Or on your Game Boy Advance, not your NES. Yeah, of course you could play them on your NES. But yeah, you can play them on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, no, and like that was something that really drew me to the system, because it was a way to play a lot of those games like without changing systems as often, and it's something that I hope that Nintendo will remember that they kind of did on the Wii and won't do again.
It was also the first time Nintendo started re-releasing Balloon Fight over and over and over again, which now we can't make fun of anymore because of Iwata. So now we just have to sit there and be like, yes, Balloon Fight.
We love you, Mr. Iwata. And I have a trailer from each of the 4 games, just so we can get some of those fuzzy vibes.
That's such a good jam.
There's the horns.
at showing you what you do in the game. Like because it's just giving you this little snippet of all these different things you can do, and it's kind of clearer than I figured it might be.
Yeah.
Oh, remember in the first one you had to like send the bones all the way back?
Oh yeah, you like mail order fossils.
Time travel, that's where you use it. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Who went to their friend's town and cut down all their trees?
Might have done that.
It was just because they stole my favorite villager. They put in their memory card and the villager moved to their town, and revenge had to be taken. Nobody steals Pee-wee from my town.
Fireworks.
Really creative way to display the fireworks in a top-down game, too.
Make them reflect off the top.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this trailer is not PK Slider.
All right. And that takes us to Animal Crossing Wild World on the DS, released December 5th, 2005 in North America, directed by Hisashi Nogami, sold 11.75 million, which is about 5 times what the first game sold.
This is kind of where Animal Crossing became more of a mainstay.
It's where Animal Crossing, it felt, became more of the Animal Crossing we know today. It was the first Animal Crossing with that rolling log effect where you would sort of traverse the same town, but it would be a globe instead of just loading the different parts of the world.
Yeah.
It was the first Animal Crossing with online play. It had a higher level of customization, so instead of the horns that you would get in the original game, you would have hats and a hairstyle. And it was available on Wii's Virtual Console in 2016, which means Animal Crossing Wild World was the only true Animal Crossing game released on Wii U.
I mean, it's a pretty good game. So,
It's a really good game.
Why did you have horns? Was it a hat, or were you a demon child?
I think Aguchi was trying to figure out some things.
It's never been explained. I demand answers, Aguchi.
Another life in another world right next door. In a different world where the clock ticks in the same way as our own, a leisurely life awaits in a relaxing village.
That music, man. It's so chill.
Up to 4 people can play at the same time wirelessly. Plus, you can use the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection
Not anymore,
to
you
invite
can't.
your friends from faraway places to your village, and to visit your friends' villages too. Or put a message in a bottle for someone to pick up at the beach in their
Have
own
you seen
village
KK
in
Slider?
tag mode. Try out the relaxed, slow life at the village with Animal Crossing Wild World.
It's another really good trailer.
Yeah.
They're good at that, aren't they?
Nintendo good at marketing. Who knew?
So before we move on, whose favorite Animal Crossing is Wild World?
I think GameCube got more love.
Yeah, that's all right, all right.
All right, Animal Crossing City Folk on Wii. This one was one that I played for hundreds of hours. Released November 16th, 2008. Hisashi Nogami and Isao Moro sold 3.38 million, which is very much less than the 11.7.
I never realized it sold that little.
Yeah.
Which
Like
is
that's barely better than the GameCube.
weird on the Wii.
Like this, I mean, this was marketed as like the big holiday title. I mean,
Yeah.
coming in a year where the Wii was on fire. That was when Wii Fit, Smash Brothers Brawl, and Mario Kart Wii all came out. And then like it's kind of shocking just how bad City Folk sold.
Well,
I bought it, so that helped.
All 3 of us did, I think.
Wasn't that also the the E3 that not a lot of people liked.
Yeah, that was the Wii Music. Like their big holiday games in 2008 were Wii Music and City Folk, but they were also what people kind of forget when they're like holiday season 2008 was bad. It was like earlier that year, Brawl, Mario Kart, and Wii Fit all came out in like a 6-week span.
Mm-hmm. Weird that they organized it in that order.
Yeah.
Like maybe you start with Wii Music and save Smash Bros for the holidays.
It utilized Wii Speak for voice chat. And Neal, you played with the Wii Speak.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot, because Wii Speak was kind of weird. Like, I like the idea of it of kind of, I mean, it goes with Animal Crossing in a way, because it is that community aspect of like you have this microphone on top of your TV and you can talk to people in a room elsewhere while you're in a room, potentially with friends and family. But also, like, who used Wii Speak? I'm curious. Show of hands.
One.
And then
All
it's
the front row people.
Yeah, all the people who waited here. They're the hardcore.
They have Wii Speak in their bag should an Animal Crossing emergency arise.
Like I feel like Wii Speak was.
You opened your bag and I actually thought you were gonna pull out Wii Speak, and I was gonna be so impressed.
Like the Wii Speak is probably better than, I don't know, an app on your phone that you use to connect to your system to do voice chat. But that's one man's opinion.
It introduced the new city with an auction house, hairstylist, high-end stores, and more. And it was the first Animal Crossing game to utilize DLC, albeit free DLC. And I think this received a much lower Metacritic than the other games in the series, which were like mid to high 80s. This one was like 72, 73. And the reason was that by most accounts, it was kind of an expansion of Wild World for the console, rather than being like a hugely new game the way Wild World and New Leaf ended up being.
And I feel like that might be a little bit of the blueprint for why we haven't seen a new one after New Leaf. It's been, New Leaf was 2013?
2013.
Yeah, so it's been, 6 years is ostensibly the wait. There's never been that long of a wait for an Animal Crossing game before. And I think part of that might be that they're trying to, avoid the problem that they had with City Folk. So hopefully the Switch version, when it does come out, is going to be way more than just New Leaf, but on the Switch.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that more when we actually get to the Switch game.
Not that I wouldn't just buy New Leaf on the Switch.
I would.
And be
I would.
totally
New
happy
Leaf's
with
great.
it.
We'll get to that soon.
Whose favorite Animal Crossing was City Folk?
The few, the proud.
It's probably like 5 people.
All right, some people love City Folk.
That's good. I'm glad that every game has had their lovers so far.
It'd be really sad if one of the games just...
Just nobody-
just no hands are raised. People raise their hands down, they leave.
Yeah.
This was the E3 trailer for City Folk on Wii. I feel like the villager in Smash is based on this villager.
Probably.
Do you just feel this is the most maniacal of all the villagers, or what drew you to that conclusion?
He's got the death eyes.
Yeah. He's the kind of villager you can imagine sneaking up to you with an axe.
He looks like he just killed someone, running to the scene of the crime.
Oh, man.
And there was the phone you would save on.
Oh, this is the one where you could put your Mii's face on your face?
Oh. That was horrifying.
That's good. Doesn't look safe. There it is.
Kill it! Kill it with fire!
He's like the Whispers in The Walking Dead. Wears the skin of his enemies. Is there even a blink cycle on that villager?
Just dead eyes. They should add that as a skin for Smash Bros.
All right.
City Folk.
A smattering of applause.
Now we're getting to the best Animal Crossing game.
Oh, we're talking about Amiibo Festival? Animal Crossing New Leaf was on the 3DS. Release date June 9th, 2013 in North America. And I actually have a story about that. So the one time I went to E3 was in 2013. And it was the day that Animal Crossing New Leaf came out. And I worked as a reporter for Nintendo World Report for the entire week. I put out just as much content as anyone, but I somehow had like 25 hours in Animal Crossing New Leaf by the end of those 4 days.
It's because you never went to bed, and I know because we shared a room together.
Directed by Isao Moro and Aya Kyogoku, 12.1 million. And then about that, You Are the Mayor. It introduced swimming pants and a town plaza.
Introduced pants.
And then later it featured the Welcome Amiibo update. And to bring up the late great Mr. Satoru Iwata again, in an interview, I think, or maybe he just said it in the Iwata Asks, 56% of the people who played New Leaf were female, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, like, I mean, Animal Crossing in general is one of Nintendo's most female, like, dominated series, just in general. Like, the balance is a little more shifted there than it is with other games. So, that's...
Yay!
Whose favorite was New Leaf?
All right.
I think New Leaf wins.
I think there's still a few hands I haven't seen, so
Yeah.
Amiibo Festival is going to get love.
Some people just love designing homes, especially when they're happy.
Yeah.
And then this is the, this was the one where I think Bill Trinan showed it off for the first time, or was it?
Well, it came out in Japan like a year or so before it came out in North America. Like, I think the game might have come out in Japan before we even like had a full confirmation of a localization or something.
Right, I think it happened. And I think this might have been during the Nintendo Direct. May have been.
It's swim in this one, that's right. Some of you are getting slightly off beat.
It's not a rhythm game, John.
This is just such a pretty game in general.
It's weird to say about Animal Crossing, but there was a pretty significant graphical leap between City Folk and this one.
Yeah.
Like, because the first three pretty much all tried to do the same thing, which was be an N64 game. And then this one, they were like, hey, this isn't an N64 game at all. And decided to, make it look nice. Did you guys ever just wear a top hat and sit on your bench for hours on end?
I thought that's what everybody did.
Yes.
My favorite was the crown from Wild World.
I think I wore Majora's Mask a lot because it meant that you couldn't see that I was constantly getting stung by bees and wasn't bothering
You're
to buy
basically
medicine
like the
for
Phantom
it.
of the Opera walking around your town.
Don't look.
But it is like, I mean, just with New Leaf, like that was, they always had the Nintendo references before, but that was when you had all those different items you can get, and then Welcome Amiibo added even more, and they straight up just added there was like a Puzzle League kind of game in there. Was there a shoot 'em up that was added in Welcome Amiibo?
No, there was like a board game too.
Okay, yeah.
It's the island game.
Yeah,
with the board game.
yeah.
And that was the Wii U 3DS.
Yeah.
On the day this game came out, my wife and I both bought a copy of it, and we played it for about 10 hours straight and didn't move.
That's New Leaf, not the one on the screen right now.
Right, yeah, the last,
that would've been
the
weird.
last one. We played that one too. But yeah, New Leaf was immediately a problem. So we played a lot of that game.
And this is Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer on 3DS, released September 25th, 2015. Utilized Amiibo cards, and you were designing homes. The director was Isao Moro.
His last directorial job at Nintendo before he left a couple years ago.
Yep. And is there anyone whose favorite game is Happy Home Designer?
Awesome! Good for you.
There is love for every single Animal Crossing game. Yes, maybe even that one.
I actually really liked this game. I know it didn't get like a ton of love, but like it's a really fun. It reminded me of like The Sims. Like it's not traditional Animal Crossing, but like it's a darn good game.
I think it focused kind of razor thin on, or razor sharp on one specific element of Animal Crossing, which was the home designing, which if you're into that, this is a great game for that. But if that's not what you go to Animal Crossing for, which is kind of the case with me, like then it was a little lacking, but like it focused on one element of it. And it really did, it made like the home designing controls way better over the course of this game, which will funnel back into the main series.
And yeah, I mean, we'll get more into, speculation later. I mean, absolutely true facts about the Switch one. But I do hope that they implement all of the stuff from Happy Home Designer into the Switch game as far as like the detailed home customization.
And this is also the era where Nintendo tried to make Animal Crossing Amiibo happen. Like the cards were
available
really cool.
for $2 at your local Best Buy.
Yeah. And like it was a bet that they made that might have almost killed Amiibo in general, because I don't think they took off as well in Japan, which is what they were really banking on. And like, yeah, if you want to go out and just buy an Amiibo just to have one, there's probably a bunch of like oh god, I'm trying to think of
the alpacas.
Yeah, the alpacas.
Reese,
the alpacas are probably just in like next to ET in some kind of pit in the west or something.
If you look around the show floor for long enough, you can probably just find some Animal Crossing
Yeah, they'll
Amiibos
just
laying
show up on the
around.
ground staring at you, being save me.
You'll get home tonight and they'll just be like, you can throw them out, but you'll come back in the next day and they'll be back in your house. And
keep them away from water too,
yeah,
so they multiply.
Don't feed them after midnight. Good.
Everyone?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, they're really nicely designed. It's just that they didn't sell that well.
I remember importing the Tom Nook and KK Slider ones because like I really wanted them, and I assumed they'd be hard to find because everyone likes Animal Crossing.
Yeah, they're
I do. And then no one cared. It's some of the nicest Amiibo, and no one cared.
If you see an Animal Crossing Amiibo, give it a nice home.
Yeah.
A happy home.
Ah.
Thanks.
To the two of you who laughed at that joke.
Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival on Wii U.
Whoa.
Released November 13th, 2015. Directed by Aya Kyogoku. A party board game developed for Animal Crossing Amiibo. 46 on Metacritic, which is 3 points higher than Devil's Third.
I reviewed this game. I think I might have been below the Metacritic average. I really wanted to like this game. I love board games on, Fortune Street's great. Mario Party games are great. So I was hoping that Amiibo Festival would be fun, and I was kind of into the Amiibo. So got this game, real excited for it, bought a bunch of other Animal Crossing Amiibo that would later be like super discounted like 2 weeks later, and then played it. I believe I did a stream with it with some friends. So we had 4 people over playing the game, and people in the chat during the stream were like, can you guys play another game so you have fun? Because where they're just being like, no, but like, how did that it wasn't even Mario Party unfair. It was just like all of a sudden at the end, it's just like, oh yeah, you just lost everything.
Yeah, there were no game. It's like the game of life. Like there's no, it's just RNG, random numbers. Like,
And it looked beautiful though.
Oh yeah,
I wanted to like this game whole lot.
The worst thing about this game is that it makes you see how beautiful an Animal Crossing in HD could be, and they just slowly slide it away from you.
There was
It's
festival.
so evil.
There was the festival. There was the plaza.
Yeah.
And there was the Nintendo Land game. All 3 of those laid such a promise for what
Yeah.
Animal Crossing could be in HD, and all we got was a Wild World port.
I will swear by an Amiibo festival, the like that island thing that you use the cards with, like that mode was really cool, but it was also like a little more on the limited side in that. And now you can play it on the 3DS version in a form of that. So just play it there.
Yep. And anyone's favorite Animal Crossing Amiibo festival?
Oh, I saw movement back there.
Yeah. A couple hands.
There's a couple. And are you guys serious? I'm just kidding. We love you.
I mean, we do too.
We did a Wii U funeral a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's
We were a Nintendo website during the era of the Wii U.
during the many years of the Wii U.
Yeah, we'll stick by it.
And then there was Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. That's the only one where we didn't even ask for a show of hands, and people were like, "Yes!"
Is this anyone's favorite Animal Crossing?
Who's
There you go.
still playing Pocket Camp on like a
Someone
daily
has their Pocket Camp open right now.
Yeah. But like by show of applause, who's still playing Pocket Camp like daily, weekly? Awesome.
Holding up phones.
Good for you. I abandoned my camp long ago. I assumed they were all eaten by bears.
Yeah. The wildlife took
What?
over.
Is
Wait,
there
what is the
wildlife
wildlife in Animal
or are they like
Crossing?
eaten by humans? Oh no.
Then what are you? As a villager.
Like a tamed pet. You're just there for their amusement.
That's true. The only things you can eat in Animal Crossing are fruit.
So you're a vegetarian and you don't eat the animals.
I think that might even be full-blown vegan.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And-
can kill fish though.
Yeah, pescatarian.
Okay. So it's like Animal Crossing, but with microtransactions, a camp focus, no open world, and tons of crafting. Just to put it.
It feels like there's a bite to that bullet point.
So I heard that it became a little more like a clicker in like some of the recent updates.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's still fun, it's still fun.
Yep. It's a mobile game. Like your mileage may vary.
It's better than when they said Animal Crossing mobile game. This is much more of an Animal Crossing game than I expected it to be.
I had a really good couple weeks
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, it is not bad. it's my official. Put it on Metacritic. Not bad.
And then there's some other Animal Crossing media. In 2006, there was an Animal Crossing anime film that was released. Have people here seen it? Did the people here like it? Cool. Cool.
Once again, not bad. I also heard a lot of people go, "What?" So yeah, when you get home, Google that. It's like a full length. I mean, how long is it?
It's a full-length
Like
movie.
70, 80 minutes or
And like the
something?
crazy thing, that's like right after Wild World. Like that had to have
Yeah.
been in production while Wild World came out, pretty much.
There's at least an English sub. I don't remember if there's an English dub or not, but go,
Have fun.
I don't know if there's a legal way to obtain it, but it's out there.
There was Animal Crossing Plaza, which was the Wara Wara one. There was an Animal Crossing Clock and Calculator released on DSiWare.
Whose favorite Animal Crossing
calculators.
game is Animal Crossing Clock and Calculator? Yeah.
And then there was also a 3DS app, the Photos with Animal Crossing.
Which gets no applause. Everyone loved Animal Crossing Clock and Calculator, but they're like, Photos with Animal Crossing, absolutely not. Ruined the series. I quit playing after that.
John, do you like the Attack on Titan image I found on Google?
That's almost as terrifying as me face on an Animal Crossing character. It's close.
So, all right. Animal Crossing did get some love in other series. Villager and Isabelle are in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Who mains Isabelle? Nice. Who mains Isabelle? Okay, we got a few of you. Who mains
Weirdly
Villager?
different. Yeah. So different people raised their hands the first time you asked who mains Isabelle, and then you asked it again, and like a different group of people raised their hands.
They just moved really quickly.
It's weird. I feel like you might be lying. Your answers are inconsistent.
But
I think you might be cheering whenever we tell you to cheer. Very suspicious.
there are also a number of stages. Mr. Rossetti was an assist trophy. Pitfall seeds were an item. There's been a lot of love Animal Crossing has gotten in the Super Smash Bros. Entries, the last two especially. Wii Music features 2 playable songs from Animal Crossing. There's the Animal Crossing Sweet Day minigame in Nintendo Land.
Don't sleep on Nintendo Land. I mean, the Wii U is kind of a nebulous thing at this point, but Nintendo Land had a lot of good stuff. Sweet Day was awesome.
And then Villager and
Mario Kart 8.
Yep, Mario Kart 8, Villager and Isabelle, both playable in Mario Kart 8.
And then there's the Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate appearance too on 3DS.
Yep, Isabelle and
Wii U
Mr. Rossetti themed cosmetics were added for the Palico and Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
Which is really weird.
Yep.
That's a weird crossover.
Kind of fitting, but weird.
It's a little disturbing to watch Isabelle just destroy a Rathlos. True.
So we got this Animal Crossing Switch. And this is from the Nintendo Direct. This was the reveal of Animal Crossing on Switch. And we're going to be like the great people at Game Explain. The next 90 minutes will be devoted to breaking this down. Oh, oops, that's not it. That's a surprise. That's a surprise, but you gotta stick around till the end to hear it. It's so good. All right, let's watch this.
Look at his dead eyes.
He's watching the villager kill again.
He has nothing left. I don't think that means what he thinks it means.
So now let's get to that part. What do we think Animal Crossing on Switch is going to be?
I think there's 2 paths for it. I think they will be one of 2 games. So the first, what we're all hoping for is that it's a huge step up like New Leaf, that like it's the next phase of Animal Crossing. One thing I fear is that there's a non-zero chance that they make a City Folk type move, where it's like an upgrade of New Leaf, in the same way that there's like Splatoon 2 was a great game, but also a half step up from Splatoon. Smash Bros. Ultimate kind of used the previous Smash as a foundation. I think there's a small chance that it could be that game.
I feel like if it was going to be that game, it probably would have already been out. Like that's my thing,
right.
is that there has been with the bid for Amiibo and Animal Crossing, and with Happy Home Designer and Amiibo Festival, like clearly after New Leaf, because New Leaf was, I don't know if it was a surprising success, but it was very much like it was a marked improvement over where City Folk was at, and that's probably like the fervor over New Leaf might have been the peak of the series to date. And it is kind of weird that Nintendo's taken 6 years to release a new version of that game, but over that time they've experimented and kind of developed like other things that could funnel in to Animal Crossing on Switch. So I think you are right, there's a non-zero chance that it's just going to be like, it's New Leaf, but it's on your Switch. But I think that it's also possible that it could be like a big, bold new entry in the series that gives you all the warm, fuzzy feelings of playing old Animal Crossing, but also adds a lot of new stuff. I also think that being the Switch and how Nintendo has kind of positioned the system in general, 100% you're going to be able to do some kind of co-op play with
With split screen
like
multiplayer.
sharing the joy, be able to play the game on one Joy-Con and give the other Joy-Con to a friend, family member, lover, or whatever, and go and hang out in your town together.
Which is also that.
Or oh man, just get 100 people, 100 asses. Like, whoever catches the most fish wins.
Whoever pays off their loan the fastest wins.
Do we think it makes it out this year?
Yes.
Okay, me too. I think so.
Yeah. Like I have my little.
You guys say that as I watch the entire audience go.
I started off with pessimism about the 20.
Totally dejected.
Like, I mean, when they announced it last year, I think it was always going to be like. I was kind of hoping it would be out in June, but hey, if you're going to put out Mario Maker 2 in June, I'm not going to complain that much. But it seems like a real good like August, September game, I'm hoping, like with Pokemon probably out around the holidays. Like those two games shouldn't come out at the same time. But like, I'm thinking September seems realistic to expect for Animal Crossing.
We'll definitely see. I mean, E3 is right around the corner, and that's probably when we'll find out.
Yeah. It's like if it's not mentioned.
If it's not at E3, everybody panic.
Yes.
Just panic.
For right
Hop
now,
in the
be
live
optimistic.
chat for their stream and just be like, "Where's Animal Crossing?" All caps.
Like
Exclamation point.
from now until E3, I think it's safe to feel optimistic. I think if E3 goes by and they're like Animal who, then that's when we get concerned about it slipping to 2020.
Is there any new apparel that the villager will be able to wear?
Horns.
I think we'll go back to horns. I want to flesh out like the lore of the villager. Did you guys ever wonder, like, do all the Animal Crossing games happen canonically to each other? And if so, why does Tom Nook always end up back in a shack? Like, because I noticed when we were watching that trailer that he has like everything, like he's packed up. Like he lost his business in the divorce or something.
Capitalism is a hell of a thing.
It's, it giveth and it taketh away. But yeah, I assume Tom Nook. Just once I'd like an Animal Crossing game, to start. I guess New Leaf he started in good shape. Mm-hmm. He had a business. He was working. He wasn't living in a shack. He did have his kids working in a shack.
How old are they? Is that legal? What's the labor rules in the world of Animal Crossing?
I don't know what the legal working age is for Tanuki, but
we'll have to investigate.
It has to be older than Timmy and Tommy.
All right, so just to close things out, I have a little treat for you guys. So this song is awesome. Just very quick plugs, NintendoWorldReport.com. All the Nintendo news you need. Nintendo World Report TV on YouTube.
That's youtube.com/NinWRTV.
Yep. And lots of footage from PAX East. I also do a podcast called 3 Unprepared Men that I'm very excited about. And I want to thank all of you for coming to celebrate Animal Crossing with us. Yay!
Camera's facing the wrong way.
All right. Play us out, Ice Cube.
Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God. I don't know, but today seems kinda odd. No barking from the dog, no small. And mama cooked the breakfast with no all. I got my grub on, but didn't dig out. Finally got a call from a girl I wanna dig out. Hooked it up for later as I hit the dope. Thinking, will I live another 24? I gotta go, cause I got me a drop top.
Thank you so much for coming.
I can make the
Animal Crossing.
Had to stop at a red light.